a major oil production cut announcement by OPEC+ countries has pushed the global oil prices up by 6% in morning trade. Riyadh, along with other major oil producers that are part of OPEC+, have announced to cut oil production by 500,000 barrels per day. The voluntary cuts announced by OPEC+ countries will come into effect from May, but the markets reacted sharply to the news on Monday. The West Texas Intermediate contract jumped 5.7% to $80 a barrel, and Brent crude jumped 5.67% to $84.4. The cuts announced by OPEC+ will remain in effect till the end of the year. Earlier, OPEC+ had slashed the oil production by 2 million barrels per day in October. This is the single biggest oil production cut announcement since then. As central banks across the world try to get a grip on inflation, the voluntary cuts in oil production by OPEC+ nations will make things rather tricky. An increase in oil prices will put more pressure on central banks to hike interest rates even further. OPEC+ grouping includes Russia, which has also announced a voluntary cut in oil production of 500,000 barrels per day for the same period. US has called the OPEC+ decision unwise and a mistake that favors Russia. The decisions that OPEC+ made last week, we believe, sided with Russians and were against the interest of American people and their families around the world, White House press secretary said to the reporters. Adding further, she said, "We believe that the decision is going to hurt and harm lower-income economies. It was misguided and it was a mistake and a short-sighted decision." Saudi Arabia, however, has defended its decision to cut the oil production. Saudi Energy Minister Abdulaziz bin Salman said that the OPEC+ alliance were doing the right job to secure and stabilize the market. The minister is on a day-long visit to prepare the ground for Saudi Prime Minister and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's trip to India next month. The recent cut in oil production have come at a time when countries across the world are dealing with soaring inflation. The announcement has come as a surprise ahead of OPEC+ gathering, as there were hints ahead of the meet that OPEC+ nations would maintain same production policy. This development is likely to sour relations between the US, which is seeing this decision as a help to Russia, and OPEC nations.